Imagine you're a baker in one country, eager to sell your bread in another. You've spent months perfecting your recipe, building a loyal customer base, and now you dream of sharing your creation with people across the border. The possibilities seem endless. New markets, new customers, and the chance to grow your business beyond your hometown. But as your bread crosses the border, the destination country slaps on a special tax, a tariff. Suddenly, your bread costs more for foreign customers, making it harder to compete with local bakers. This extra cost can be the difference between success and failure in a new market. Tariffs are government tools, often used to protect local businesses by making foreign goods more expensive. By raising the price of imports, governments hope to give their own industries a better chance to thrive and keep jobs at home. This shapes what we pay for everyday items, from coffee to cars. Even if you don't realize it, tariffs can influence the price tags you see at the store, affecting your choices as a shopper. Tariffs can also be used to generate government revenue, providing funds for public services, infrastructure, or national projects, or as leverage in political disputes, giving countries bargaining power in negotiations or conflicts over trade policies. When tariffs rise, imported goods cost more, and those costs trickle down to consumers. You might notice your favorite imported chocolate or electronics getting pricier, even if you're far from the border. Sometimes tariffs are so high they block trade almost entirely, creating barriers that affect not just big companies, but everyday people, workers, families, and small business owners. For decades, countries have tried to lower tariffs, believing open trade brings competition, innovation, and lower prices for everyone. The idea is that fewer barriers mean more choices and better deals for consumers. Organizations like the WTO set rules and help resolve disputes, aiming to keep global trade fair and predictable for all nations involved. But lately, some countries have used tariffs more aggressively, claiming unfair trade relationships or trying to protect their own economies in uncertain times. This has sparked trade wars, nations imposing tariffs on each other's goods, creating global uncertainty and making it harder for businesses to plan for the future. Understanding tariffs is key to grasping the recent tensions between the United States and Switzerland, and why the price of crossing borders matters to us all. In August 2025, the US imposed a massive 39% tariff on Swiss imports, making Swiss products far pricier for Americans. This was part of the Trump administration's strategy to protect American industries and address the US trade deficit with Switzerland. A trade deficit means the US buys more from Switzerland than it sells there. The administration believed high tariffs would discourage imports, helping close the gap. The 39% tariff was the highest placed on any European country, signaling a serious effort to change trade dynamics. Swiss exports, watches, pharmaceuticals, precision machinery, were suddenly at a huge disadvantage. The move shocked Swiss businesses and threatened a long-standing partnership. It marked a shift from years of trade liberalization to a more confrontational, high-stakes approach. The 39% tariff hit Swiss exporters hard. Overnight, their costs to sell in the US soared. Some tried to absorb the cost, slashing profits. Others raised prices, losing their competitive edge. Swiss products, already premium, risked being priced out of the market. American buyers turned to cheaper alternatives, and Swiss sales plummeted. Orders were canceled, investments paused, and uncertainty gripped Swiss businesses. The pain rippled through supply chains. Suppliers, shippers, and workers all felt the squeeze. Even iconic brands like Victorinox, makers of the Swiss Army knife, faced huge hurdles in their biggest market. For family businesses, the tariffs threatened survival and jobs. The tariffs became a national challenge, slowing growth and undermining Switzerland's export-driven prosperity. The entire economy grew anxious as the trade wall loomed. After months of mounting tension and uncertainty, a breakthrough finally came in November 2025. The US and Switzerland reached a preliminary deal that surprised many observers. This agreement was the result of intense negotiations, with both sides making significant concessions to move past the stalemate that had threatened to damage their long-standing economic partnership. Under the new terms, the steep 39% tariff would drop to 15%, still a considerable barrier, but far more manageable for Swiss exporters and American importers alike. This reduction signaled a willingness to compromise and a shared interest in restoring trade flows between the two nations. Swiss officials, led by Economy Minister Guy Parmelin, worked tirelessly behind the scenes to protect their industries while also finding common ground with the U.S. They balanced domestic concerns with the need to maintain strong international relationships, demonstrating both resolve and flexibility. The deal marked a significant shift from confrontation to cooperation, reopening the lucrative American market for Swiss exporters. For many businesses, this meant a chance to recover lost sales and re-establish vital supply chains that had been disrupted. While a 15% tariff is still a hurdle, it's one that businesses can now plan for with greater certainty. Companies began reassessing their strategies, exploring new opportunities, and preparing to adapt to the evolving trade landscape. The agreement also set a clear timeline to finalize all details by early 2026, giving companies the clarity and predictability they needed to move forward with confidence and make informed decisions about future investments. Swiss leaders acknowledged that the process would take time, but both sides demonstrated a renewed willingness to rebuild trust and strengthen their economic ties. The spirit of collaboration was evident in every step of the negotiations. The new framework offered hope and stability after months of economic strain, allowing Swiss industries to resume operations and look toward the future with optimism. It was a testament to the power of negotiation and diplomacy, even in a climate of rising global trade tensions and uncertainty. The door to the U.S. market was open again, perhaps not as wide as before, but wide enough to signal a new chapter of opportunity and renewed partnership for both countries. A standout feature of the New Deal was its retroactive tariff reduction, a move that surprised many industry observers and delighted Swiss exporters. The lower 15% rate applied not just to future shipments, but also to goods sent after November 14, 2025, effectively rewriting the rules for months of trade. Swiss companies that paid the 39% tariff during this window could now claim a refund for the difference, unlocking much-needed capital that had been tied up in customs fees. For many, this meant a direct cash injection, sometimes the difference between survival and closure. The sudden return of funds brought a wave of relief to businesses large and small. The refund allowed businesses to stabilize, reinvest, and recover from months of uncertainty. Some companies used the money to restart stalled projects, while others rehired staff or expanded operations. The Swiss government estimated the average tariff burden would fall to 7 to 9%, a dramatic improvement that signaled a new era for Swiss-American trade. This retroactive clause showed both sides' commitment to repairing the damage and rebuilding trust after a turbulent period. The deal didn't erase all challenges, but it moved the relationship from crisis to a more manageable new normal, giving exporters hope for the future. For Swiss exporters, the refund was immediate relief, helping them regain their footing and plan ahead with greater confidence. The agreement's impact was felt across the economy, from factory floors to boardrooms, marking a turning point in the trade relationship. The tariff cut wasn't one-sided. Switzerland made a major commitment in return. Swiss companies pledged to invest $200 billion in the U.S. by 2028. This wasn't government money, but private sector investment. Factories, R&D, acquisitions, and more. The pledge created jobs, transferred technology, and boosted local economies across America. For the U.S., it was a political win, lower tariffs in exchange for massive investment and job creation. The deal deepened economic ties, making both countries' fortunes more intertwined. When Swiss firms have assets and employees in the U.S., both sides have more reason to avoid future disputes. The $200 billion pledge was more than a number. It was a strategic move for long-term partnership. It shifted the relationship from simple trade to shared growth. Both sides could claim victory, and the foundation for future cooperation was set. The agreement gave special protection to Swiss pharmaceuticals, a vital export and a lifeline for U.S. patients. Swiss pharma giants supply life-saving medicines and advanced therapies to America. Any disruption could hurt both economies and patients. The deal capped future U.S. tariffs on Swiss pharmaceuticals at 15%, even under national security investigations. This safeguard gave Swiss companies confidence to invest in research and production, knowing their U.S. access was secure. For the U.S., it ensured a stable supply of critical medicines. The clause recognized that trade isn't just about goods, it's about access to innovation and health. Swiss pharma's revenue from the U.S. funds the next wave of medical breakthroughs. The special protection highlighted the deep, symbiotic relationship between the two countries in healthcare. It was a win for patients and industry alike. The tariff reduction brought relief to Swiss businesses, ending months of anxiety. Karl Elsener, CEO of Victorinox, called the New Deal a game-changer. Difficult, but manageable. Economists predicted the agreement could boost Swiss GDP by up to 0.5 percentage point, a significant lift. Yet optimism was tempered by caution. Swiss Economy Minister Guy Parmelin, soon to be president, warned that trade policy can change quickly. The experience was a reminder of how fragile global trade relationships can be. Businesses welcomed the clarity and immediate financial relief, but knew they must stay vigilant. The investment pledge and retroactive refunds helped rebuild trust, but the future remains uncertain. Swiss leaders are determined to adapt, knowing today's calm could be disrupted by tomorrow's politics. The lesson: stability is precious, but never guaranteed. The US-Switzerland agreement marked a turning point, easing a damaging trade conflict and restoring stability. Swiss exporters gained relief, and critical sectors like pharmaceuticals were protected. The $200 billion investment pledge strengthened economic ties. But the global trade landscape remains volatile. Tariffs are now common tools, and politics often trumps economics. Minister Parmelin's caution is justified. Future US administrations could change course, and businesses must plan for uncertainty. Swiss companies may diversify markets or move production to the US to hedge against future risks. The investment pledge embeds Swiss interests in America, making both sides more resilient. The future depends on continued dialogue and mutual benefit. For now, Swiss businesses can breathe easier, but must keep a watchful eye on shifting political winds. The lesson: in global trade, adaptability is as important as any agreement.